This episode's going to be about the new things that we found in terms of technology, in terms of new things that are going to come in the next 10 years, 5 years, and some of these things that I'm going to go through or that I'm going to have on this list that I'm having in front of me that I'm going to show you just after the intro then. Some of these things, or actually one of these things, is actually right at this point in time also available, which is amazing. Which is really amazing. But yeah, there's gonna be more after the intro as always. There's every day. And I've really been unproductive in the last hour and actually last 1.5 hours, and it really pisses me off. Really, really, really. This is one of the most unpissing feelings that I'm having. If this just makes sense or not. And this is why I just do wanna be a little tiny bit faster with the episode right now. So yeah. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, which is this one. The MIT Breakthrough Technology Review 2020, which is basically a list of all the breakthrough technologies that we are having in 2020 or that are emerging in 2020. So if you've just been listening just before to me, it is there might be some technology that's going to come in 5 years or 10 years. So this definitely has nothing to do with 2020, but we're seeing the first few attempts, I would say, the first few attempts of doing something, whether it is the internet, a new way of the internet, or it is about something else. And today I've actually thought about not being as fast as I normally am, but just taking my time and talking about those things that I want to talk about, and I'm just then going to do the other things in the next episode or in the next episode or in the next episode. I do just not want to stress myself out that much, as I'm quote unquote always doing, which is not as a nice thing. But yeah, so the MIT Technology Review, as it actually is stated by them, and it was published on February the 22nd, 2020, so yesterday. Yes, yesterday. And the list contains things like, it contains things like the Unhackable Internet, hyper-personalized medicine, digital money, anti-aging drugs, which is something that's quite interesting, AI-discovered molecules, satellite mega constellations, quantum supremacy, tiny AI, differential privacy, and the last one is climate change attribution. All of them are really, 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 really interesting. They really are. Especially, I would say, my top 5 are the anti-aging drug, I would say. Then I thought that the Unhackable Internet is also something quite interesting, even though I don't understand the concept. I really don't. This is not something that I have been interested in, nor do I am just really educated in it. Really not. But I would also say that, quantum supremacy is going to change some things, and also the whole climate change attribution thing, or the whole climate change stuff that they're also going to talk about. But yeah, anyway, let's actually start with the Unhackable Internet. So I'm going to go through a list from 1 to 10, basically. There's going to be one, I think, that I think it's been the digital money, because, I haven't highlighted a lot of them, or a lot of these things that I'm going to read in this quote-unquote category, because I thought, this is not something that new, and I also didn't find something that interested in that, or interesting in that, so I thought, let's just not do that, because it's quite a waste of time then, The Unhackable Internet. Well, actually should highlight the whole thing. And as you can see, there are certain highlights that I'm having. First of all, they're for me so that I actually know what is important and what I actually want to talk about. But second of all, it is for you to download them. All these highlights are then going to be in the PDF, and you can download this PDF for free and do whatever with it, and which is pretty nice, because then I'm having watching in terms of the YouTube video, listening in terms of the podcast, and third of all, or last of them, is reading as the PDF, which is really, really, really cool, I would say, or I think, because there's going to be something for everyone, because not everyone just wants to watch a fucking 15-minute video, or 13-minute video, or 30 minute video or 60-minute video. Like, we all are different, and not every one of us wants to listen to a podcast that's half an hour long, 20 minutes long, whatever. But some people do just want to have the reading thing. But some other people just don't really like the reading thing, and this is why I'm having everything. And I'm actually very sorry for this video here in the background. It's like a little bit psychedelic. Well, yeah, the Unhackable Internet, the third time I'm reading this fucking title. Later this year, Dutch researchers will complete a quantum internet between Delft and Hague. And The Hague, or The Hague. I think it's The Hague, isn't it? Let's actually see. I think it is The Hague. No, it's actually The Hague. Because in German it's Den Haag. Therefore I thought like, well, since it's pretty close to German, it might also be the case. An internet based on quantum physics will soon enable inherently secure communication. A team led by Stephanie Wenner at Delft University of Technology is building a network connecting 4 cities in the Netherlands entirely by means of quantum technology. Messages sent over this network will be unhackable. But entangled particles are difficult to create, which is like, we figured out how to send things through Farbenkyber. No, the wrong. Carbon fiber. Yes, not Farbenkyber, but carbon fiber. Or basically glass in the end. But it is something completely different to send something through this new element, I guess, that they're using in terms of like the distance, because the distance between all those cities is, as far as I know, it's not that much, but it's also not like 3 meters. It's quite something. They say it's it's actually as far as they actually need of using some repeaters, which is quantum repeaters. And I do have to say, like, I don't know anything about this shit. I don't know anything about quantum mechanics, but I just like the thought of having a very, very, very secure and maybe even unhackable internet. On the other hand, I'm also not quite sure if you understand the whole concept and if you understand how they made it, if you're not then able to hack the whole thing. Quite, or if there is some backdoor maybe, some way that you can get to the information without people knowing it, because I guess and I think and chances are really high that there's always going to be some sort of a backdoor or some sort of a way to do this thing, kind of. So, but entangled particles are difficult to create and harder still to transmit over long distances. Wenner's team has demonstrated it can send them more than 1.5 kilometers, which is 0.093 miles. What the fuck is going on? And they are confident that they can set up a quantum link between Delft and Hague by around the end of this year. Ensuring an unbroken connection over great distances will require quantum repeaters that extend the network. So I don't know if this is like a lot of work, and if this is like complicated work, and if this is like work that is difficult maybe, even though I've said that, yeah. But in terms of like, building something and just figuring something else, it is difficult, but eventually we are getting to some things as we are just seeing right now. But in the end, just building a network of these all things, is it going to take just a lot of unities? Is it going to take a lot of, I'm sorry, not unities, but units? Is it going to take a lot of these repeaters? Because, if you're building, if you just have to build a lot of these repeaters, and if you also have to place a lot of these repeaters every 1.5 kilometers, it's quite a lot. It really is a lot, which is also one of the downsides of 5G, that if you're really willing to have this really high speed network, then we have to have like a lot of fucking those towers, I guess they're called, in our cities or in our places, in the landscape and whatnot, which is not that nice, especially if you're just really trying to not hurt the environment. It's not going to be that nice, but yeah, there's another form of 5G, which is not millimeter waves, I guess, which is something else. It's going to be 20% faster than 4G that we're having right now. But 20% is something. 20% is pretty good. but it's not that much compared to the real quote-unquote 5G, which is really fucking fast. But it's a problem. It's a problem that we are hopefully going to figure out in some way at some point in time. But yeah, the unhackable internet, why it matters. The internet is increasingly vulnerable to hacking. A quantum one would be unhackable, or quantum, however you're actually pronouncing it. I don't fucking know. But yeah. I'm sorry if I didn't cut my sneeze out, because I never ever know. I'm cutting things actually without listening to it, which is not always the best idea, but it is a good idea to just not get caught up in the very small details, which often do not really matter anyway. But if you just hear something and you kind of feel like, well, maybe I should cut this out and that, and I have figured out that it's not always good to just have a very just cut it down episode. Like, it's actually really bad. If I'm cutting down everything, just every single pause, if I'm cutting out every single pause, which is something that I did because I thought it's making the episode way better, but in the end, I've recognized that, no, it's not doing anything good to the episode because it is so exhausting. And it also feels so exhausting to listen to something like this, because if it is constant stream of information, it's gonna fucking kill you. It's gonna fucking kill your fucking ears. It's really not that cool. I've recognized, which might also be, or you might also be translating, or you might be able to translate that into different areas of life, that sometimes less is more. And sometimes just, well, maybe not even less is more, but doing things in a smart way and doing things in a way that kind of makes sense is often a good thing to do. And is often also a smart thing to do, because I'm just rather doing it I'm rather doing just less cuts, or maybe even smarter, quote unquote, cuts than having a lot of cuts and potentially ruining the whole episode. Kind of. But I mean, we have to figure that out. And you for yourself also have to figure that out in whatever way it might be relevant for you, I guess. The availability is going to be in 5 years. So they assume that it is going to take us 5 years to do something like that. Even though, I mean, the question is it availability in terms of the public? Because, I mean, they are going to build this till the end of this year, I guess. So, I mean, it is available, but not for us. I mean, for them. So, it's probably going to be about, like, the public hand or the public society. Well, I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. The next thing is hyper-personalized medicine. And this is indeed something that I really think is a cool thing. A little story. I am actually... Wow, what is it called? Fuck. I'm allergic. I think this is the right word, I assume. I'm allergic to a certain drug or a certain medicine, but I still don't know which it is. It is a form of penicillin, if this is like the English word. I don't know, but it's the German one. And I don't know what it is. The problem that I'm having when I'm just taking it is that I'm not going to be able to breathe that easily. It feels like that there's a fucking elephant on my fucking chest. It's not good. And it actually took me some time to figure that out, because at first you think like, well, it might be my nose that's really just nausea and just really closed up because of all the slime that's in it and whatnot. But in the end, you notice, well, there's something else going on. And when you notice it, and when you just... I mean, like, in the first few days, or at first, I wasn't really thinking about it. But once I've recognized it, that there's something going on, it's like really a fucking bad feeling. When you can't breathe, or when you're not able to breathe that easily or that well as normally, it really is fucked up. And it really is not that nice. And I still don't know which medicine it is because I'm allergic to it. But it might have been actually one of these medicines or one of these drugs that help the best. But I don't know. And this is one area of, even though this is not really what they're just applied for actually, but if I'm thinking about it, having personalized medicine and having personalized drugs and personalized pills and personalized whatever is pretty good because we're all different. But we're still trying to make something for the majority, which is going to probably work for the majority to a relatively high degree, but it's not going to be entirely good, which is something that we can see in this example that they are giving us, when it is all about genes and when it is all about some gene things and gene related and very rare, therefore, issues and or just illnesses. So too rare to care goes the saying, which is apparently the case for medicine at this point in time, because if there's something that's really rare, then we're probably not going to care about it that much. We're going to be like, well, it's only going to be for some people, which is maybe not like what the money is or should be used for. That's about to change thanks to new classes of drugs that can be tailored to a person's genes. If an extremely rare disease is caused by a specific DNA mistake, as several thousands are, there is now at least a fighting chance for a genetic fix. Her case made the New York... So there was a case of Mila Makovec, as I'm just reading right now, and her case made the New England Journal of Medicine in October after doctors moved from a readout of a genetic error to a treatment in just a year, which is, if you're in need of something just really quickly, it's not going to be that nice if it's just taking a fucking year. But it's better than nothing. And they call the drug Milazin, so after her. But yeah, it's pretty cool because they have recognized that there's something going on with their genes and they're trying to fix it with fucking pills and or medicine or drugs or whatever you wanna refer to it to. But yeah, it's cool. I enjoy that. As I said, because we're all different. We all think in different ways. We all think about different things. So yeah. But the problem is the treatment hasn't cured Mila. It's just only kind of stabilizing her, and now she's actually able to walk again, which is actually pretty cool. The real challenge for N of 1 treatments, which is a reference to the number of people who get the drug, is that they defy just about every accepted notion of how pharmaceuticals should be developed, tested, and sold. Yeah. It is really inefficient. It really indeed is pretty inefficient, which is, I think, one of the worst things about that. But yeah, what I've been thinking about before is that, if you're having a certain drug, and if you're developing a certain drug for a certain person, who says that in the process of doing something, in the process of trying to figure out what you could be doing for this person, who says that you're maybe not even going to be able to accidentally find a new drug? It's probably been a case for a lot of drugs, like, I don't know, LSD probably, I guess, and cocaine. I think all of them have been accidents most often, or they just have been accidentally been found or just whatever. So, well, yeah, of course, developing certain drugs or developing certain medicine for the sake of maybe finding something is a really bad idea. It really is, because, as I said, it's just really fucking inefficient. You can be probably developing a drug for diseases that a lot of people are having, and we're probably also going to do that in the same amount of time, or at least get closer to finding something in the same amount of time, rather than just quote-unquote wasting your time doing something for one person. So N of 1. I don't know if just AI or robotics and future technology is able to just do this even better, or is able to actually let this be available kind of as well, because at this point of time I really feel like that it is quite inefficient. Well, but they say, which is something that I didn't see, that it is available right now. Well, apparently, yeah, because they're already doing it and they've already done it. Well, yeah. Why it matters? Genetic medicine tailored to a single patient means hope for people whose ailments were previously uncurable. Key players: AT Children's Project, Boston, blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, I'm actually going to read Boston Children's Hospital, Ions Pharmaceuticals, and U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So it's actually pretty cool, and I enjoyed it. And I also just hope that this is going to be something for the future, that they are going to develop that, because for some people it's amazing. Yeah, for some people it is definitely amazing. But I think that this is going to be the episode. I really hope that you've liked it. I really hope that you've just also liked this quote-unquote new approach of being a little bit on ease and just not trying to push through it as quickly as I possibly can, which is not good for my voice. not good for the episode, and it's also not good for my well-being, I guess, as well, kind of. But yeah, I am gonna see you the next time. I at least hope, and I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself and you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person. But yeah, 3 other questions that I'm having for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? Which is the third one and the last one. And yeah, the software is not closing it down or not shutting it down. So, well, or at least I can't do anything at this point in time. I can't even just end the episode now. So yeah, I really have to thank you. I mean, even though this episode has actually not been that of a good one for me, at least, because I've really felt angry. I really felt incredibly angry before I started the episode, and also in the first few minutes of the episode. The funny thing is, as I'm talking about it right now, as a maybe even form of therapy to some degree as well, I do feel better. I really feel better. Maybe I should actually kind of talk about some things like this a little bit more when something is bothering me in the episode. I don't know if it is relevant, and this is just also something that I think about. If it is relevant to talk about it, if this makes sense, or if it is not just a waste of time, a waste of opportunity maybe as well. But I was really angry because I hate losing time, and I've been actually wasting 1.5 hours, which is a fucking lot of time. In the end, I've been able to just get done what I wanted to get done, but I've not been able to get done everything that I wanted to get done in the end, which is, I don't like that. I just don't like that. And well, yeah, now I can end the episode, and therefore I'm also gonna end the episode there. So thank you very much, and I'm hopefully gonna see you the next time. Bye.